Okay, Bob? Bob? Everybody, yep. All right, thank you everyone for coming. We're going to start with the pledge and start the meeting. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Happy birthday, Charlie.
Okay, thank you everyone for coming. We're going to first read the payroll and register for the week ending October 11th, 2025. Payroll in the amount of $42,182. Payroll taxes, $10,671. Accounts payable in the amount of $24,811. There were no payments for Swayze Co-op or the retirement system during this week, so I would take a motion to accept the payroll and register.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. We also have, yeah, okay. So with the consent agenda, we have the rec manifest, building permits. We also have public minutes. And what are the dates on those? We have public minutes from July 29th, August 19th, September 2nd, September 9th, September 16th, September 30th, and October 7th, 2025. So I would take a motion to accept. Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We're going to, at this point, I know we have public comment last. We're going to keep it last, but I'm also going to have some public comment up front. We're going to limit that to 2 minutes per person, since we are going to have public comment up front and last. We're not going to have public comment in between. We have a pretty full agenda, and we also have a full non-public agenda tonight. So, anyone who wants to
As soon as we can get to it.
As soon as we
because
finish it.
We have a bunch of stuff to do tonight. It's going to be after the meeting's over, so the quicker we expedite the meeting, that's why we're doing the 2 minutes for non-public now. Or for public.
public comment. You want to go? You want? Two minutes. We do. Yeah. We're doing.
Yep.
I need 10 minutes there, I don't even need the whole thing. Then in public comment, I probably won't say anything, and I'm not gonna stay through the meeting because I'm leaving after Dr. Wilson.
Okay. Are the Wilsons here? Come on up.
You're the next contestant.
Yes, but you're on the same political side.
Dr. Wilson, would you like Dr. Wilson?
Mark
Is that
is fine.
Mark? Okay.
No, perfectly fine, thank you.
He has to get
Okay, so I'm Mark Wilson.
All right, Liz, please.
public comment.
Not right now.
No,
He was on the agenda to speak to us.
excuse us. Excuse us. Thank you.
My name is Mark Wilson. I live at 56 Hague Road in Brentwood. Thank you for squeezing me in. I very much appreciate it. So as the letter addressed, we're in the process of trying to sell the house after being in Brentwood for 36 years. And as you can imagine, being in the same house that we've added on to many times, that's quite a project. And in the process of working with our real estate agent, she discovered a discrepancy in the tax record for how much acreage we had versus the deeds. That we've corrected, fortunately. But in the process of investigating that, Mark Kennedy raised the concern that our tax map has always said, for 27 years, something like that, that it's a two-family with an in-law unit. And he said Brentwood doesn't have duplexes or two-family units. So we met with Glenn, and he said, well, the
You're-
permit,
you're- And you're in the residential.
we are, yes,
agricultural-
we're on Hague
yeah,
Road,
so-
we're in the agricultural, residential
Yep.
agricultural, exactly right, yep, and right on the river.
Yep.
And so we met with Glenn, and he acknowledged that the permits were pulled for it, but that, well, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I think he implied perhaps they shouldn't have been back then, but they were. So he suggested we come here and get your sage advice on how to proceed. Because the real estate agent isn't comfortable listing it until we, get confirmation that she could list it that way.
Dot the i's and cross the t's, please.
I'm sorry.
Dot the i's and cross the t's?
Yes, yes.
Does this have to go to ZBA or no?
Well,
I guess that we would hit markup for that next, to clarify, since he knows more of that. So I would invite him to sit.
so the question that Mr. Montegary is asking is, does this have to go to ZBA?
Mark Kennedy, Liens Administrator for the Town of Brentwood. No. No, when we get a variance that, or a special exception, that would be prior to it being built. You can't issue one after. So, can I go through a few of the facts
Please,
for the people?
yes.
In 1998, this residence got a special exception from the Zoning Board of Adjustment for an ADU, also known as an in-law apartment, and got a building permit for that. Then in 1995,
Yep, Mark, that was 1990 or 91, not
Sorry.
98. It's okay, I know there was more than a few permits in that file.
yes, there's quite a few in here. Hold on. It's a 1,320-foot addition. The special exception was granted in 91
For the ADU.
for the ADU.
Yep.
Yeah, there are quite a few building permits. And then one was issued, I don't have the schematic of the house on the back. Yeah, this one for the actual home was issued in 98. So basically, it's two dwellings with an ADU. In 2010, there was an application that was submitted for a community residence. So I guess this board, where they probably should start is having a letter of intent from the property owner of what they intend to sell it as. I mean, I'm not sure if this is still used as a rental property or units being rented, or where's everybody living here?
So it has been occupied by family. So any rents paid were from family. So it's essentially a discrete unit that's attached. And then the much larger unit that was the existing home from 1805, plus an addition that was put on by the previous owners, and then us again. And so, yeah, it has 3 kitchens, and it's a 3-family unit. It's never been used commercially.
Yeah, when you say unit, though, we have the existing house, and then we have a house that's attached to it, so a separate unit, and then we have an unattached ADU.
No, everything
No,
is
they're all-
attached.
Oh, everything is attached.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Everything is attached.
So essentially, you got a 3-family, but it was an ADU attached to basically another ADU, essentially.
It's an attachment to an attachment
to it.
to an attachment.
So the ADU is actually not an ADU.
Yeah.
It's an attachment.
Right.
Well,
It's still classified as an ADU.
Well, with,
Okay.
So they got a
in
3-family.
the permit, it says mother-in-law apartment. I think it predated the use of the term ADU.
Yeah. Okay.
And what's the situation in terms of how this has been assessed, Mark?
It's been assessed as a 2-unit from what I read on the property card.
With an ADU.
Yes.
Yes, 2-unit with an ADU. So basically assessed at a 3-unit. But I think what we need to establish is what do you intend to sell it as?
We intend to sell it as a 2-family with an in-law apartment. That's what it's been listed on the tax unit for decades. And that's what we'd like to sell it as.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
What action, if any, does this board need to take if that's what it's already listed as on the tax card or the property card?
Yeah, because we're just ratifying it.
Yeah, well, you'd want to do that.
So I just need to make a motion to say that this property is a two-family with an in-law unit.
I think we would,
I would recommend that you continue the hearing and then talk to the assessing department and then talk to Glenn. But exactly what actions this board really
This-
should be taking.
Let me rephrase my question. This seems to be less about assessing and more about them being able to sell a property.
So I think what they're asking for, if I'm understanding it correctly, is an exception, some sort of special exception from this board to what could be deemed a violation of the zoning ordinance. My concern about that is that we're being asked to make that special exception retroactively many years later, and I don't, and so I want to proceed prudently and not do something where we're overstepping our bounds or boundaries, if you will, and it may make sense to have some understanding the issue, have some further research and clarification and maybe some input from our town planner on this. So I think, Mark's counsel makes some sense, but that would be my concern. I just don't want to overstep, our bounds by doing something retroactively like that many years later. Should have been done back then, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it should have, and the way that Glenn said it, or at least implied it, is that it should have, but it wasn't, and
Right.
the towns approved it because we have the permits, and therefore, under, what is it called, the continuance of non-conforming uses or something like that. There is something in the plans that sort of allows you to, allows,
That's right. I do that all the time.
yeah, I bet.
And now here we are almost, a little over 30 some odd years later. right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I guess my question would then be, how is this different from the other recent technical correction that we made to another property in town?
The last technical correction you had made was a property card correction, meaning there was a main unit, there was a home and with a detached ADU, but they had two separate tax cards. So what you did was you took the tax card from the ADU and rolled it into the main house.
Sorry, you're talking about Middle Road.
Yes.
Are you talking about 60 and 62 Middle Road?
I don't remember the exact address. That's the last correction.
You're talking
tax
about by
card.
Pine Road?
5 Pine.
I'm talking about the one on the other end of Middle Road with a
Oh,
woman who had,
yes.
there was an ADU and a main house.
Yep,
and we
yep.
switched them.
Yes.
So
Those are, what you did there was property card variations. Right, what
This is
we're talking about here
zoning.
is totally different. We're not just talking about a property card adjustment. We're talking about accepting something that should never have been, that doesn't meet current zoning.
can we just accept it as non-conforming?
Well, the first thing I would do is establish what the applicant wants. I'd have that in writing. What is your intent? What do you intend this to be?
We have that.
Okay, and then I would take that, I would talk to assessing department, I would talk to Glenn, and I might even take that a step further and talk to council about it. Because what you're doing is you're accepting something that A, should never have been done, and don't want to give the impression that it should be done. And when someone buys this, they want assurances that you're not going to do anything after the fact. And that's really why this gentleman is here, is they want assurances that they're not going to get chased down the road.
I'd like to make a motion to continue this.
Yeah, I think,
Second.
it's, and again, I think it would be prudent. It's not to say we're not going to do it, but I think we need to do our due diligence, if you will, in order to, make sure that this is done,
Satisfy
properly.
everybody.
Yeah.
I totally understand
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
and I know you're getting hit with an unusual situation.
Yeah.
I would
We will try to expedite.
I would make the
it as
point,
much
yeah,
as
we've been
possible.
trying to get the house ready for sale for a year. My mother has already moved.
Okay.
So we're hopeful that it won't drag on.
Why don't we
Continue it till
continue it?
next Tuesday.
Yeah. Do you think we'll be able to get the answer by next Tuesday?
Yeah, I can talk to Glenn tomorrow and then Adrian on Monday.
Perfect.
I'm just not
Thursday.
sure we're gonna be able to get,
Adrian will be here on Thursday.
Yes.
She'll be here on Thursday.
Thursday.
This Thursday?
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh, back to back, done.
Perfect.
you know, I'm not sure we're gonna be able to get council's opinion if we want or need, but
I don't foresee that. It all depends the
Okay,
answers
fair
that I
enough.
get from the other two entities. is what-
So my motion is to continue it until next Tuesday.
right, hopefully we'll have some answers.
Yep.
We'll do our best.
And we have a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
All right, should I
appreciate you
be,
coming in.
so I need to plan to be present next Tuesday.
Correct.
Yes.
If you could, that would be awesome.
I will make a point of it.
Thank you.
About 30 seconds. Liz Faria, South Road. I'm an alternate to the planning board. I get seated more often than I'm not. I know Mark Wilson for, I'll get you a lot of, he should also attend the planning board on, just the. Mark, can you go talk to him about maybe coming to the planning board? Tell him to have his real estate agent call me. I know him.
Yeah, so we're moving on to budgets.
Yep.
Well, I'm doing my first minute of the two in regards to this, so I know him.
Liz, we already discussed how we're gonna handle this meeting
He
tonight.
said he could take public, I have it from the planning board perspective.
No.
And I will
there-
get the information for you next Tuesday, but I won't be here probably.
So again,
okay.
you know, there was,
That's fine, that's about 30 seconds. He's a good guy, he should be able to sell his house.
All right, noted. Thank you. Budget?
moving, yeah, thank you. Moving on to budgets. Julie, do you want to speak to the budgets that are coming before us, or? Oh, okay, fair enough. Cemetery.
Nice. She's like, it's all you, man. It's all you. She's like, I'm good. I'm comfortable. The seat's nice.
She knows. She prepped me, so if I get stuck, she's right behind me. Okay, Mr. Chairman, thank you. Jim Hazer, Chair of the Cemetery Trustees. You should all be looking at our requested budget for fiscal year 2026 that we approved at our September 11th meeting. There's two sheets. One is that shows the wages, and I'll just cut to the chase. If you look at it, basically we have the superintendent who works 6 hours a week, and we use the 3% recommended increase for her hourly rate. All the other numbers, I mean, if you look on the front page, the reason why it shows 5% is just because of the 13-week versus 39-week thing that everybody deals with, right? So anyways, so I broke out the details for the employee wages and on one sheet, and then on the main sheet, the first page shows basically, again, the top wages, FICA, retirement, all those are tied to the 3%. The hours didn't change. If you look at electricity, the trustees talked about this. If we look at our how much we paid this year, we're below where we probably should be, but it was also a really dry year, and we didn't do a lot of cleaning because of the drought conditions. And we've heard, and we were looking at the last two bills, and I think it was the delivery rate has gone up, and we've heard that the rates are going to go up on electricity. So that is one increase that we put in the budget, was we went from $300 to $350 in anticipation to next year not having drought conditions and using this probably the same amount of electricity that we've used in the past, maybe a little more, plus rate increases. So that's why we went up $50 there. And then the other only significant increase that we had was in land maintenance. We went from a $1,000 appropriation in 2025 to a departmental request of $2,000. And the reason why is that that line historically had been $2,000, at least in the 3 years that I've been on the cemetery trustees. And last year, it was reduced by the select board. We are going to overspend that this year slightly. Again, when it was changed by the select board, it was an agreement. We kind of I talked to the chair back then, and basically it was a handshake agreement that if we slightly overran it, well, we get help. We didn't
Ran $1,000.
overran our whole budget because
Oh,
of
I
it,
see.
you know. So we are going to overrun that 1,000, but we should be okay in the total big number. But we are going back to asking for $2,000 because, again, next year, we are going to pick up a new cemetery, the Brentwood Poor Farm Cemetery, that you guys did do the actual official work of declaring it an abandoned cemetery. So it is now, that section is going to be a town cemetery off of Deer Hill Road. We'll be working this year to get it officially put on the GIS maps. So that, we will have to maintain that. And because the first year, we're going to probably end up putting a delineation, because right now, if you walked in there, you really can't tell. We do have, there's a stone where we are going to be putting a bronze plaque on there describing that cemetery. But we're going to want to put a delineation. And I mean, probably some poles with maybe a chain type, little low fencing, just to delineate it from the woods. So we thought we would be using the dollars from that line to pay for that. And we would do the work ourselves, the trustees and the superintendent, but for the materials, we'd probably take it out of that line.
Do you have a quote for how much that would cost?
No, I don't. Again, because I don't think it would be that much, Letty.
Can
because-
I,
Yep.
if you could get us a quote, then we could possibly encumber funds from this year.
Okay, I could try to do that. Again, I'm talking really low dollar amount here because we're talking some metal poles. I did one cemetery on the gate for 125, which is 2 poles and some chain. It was like, I don't even know if it cost $60 for all the material. Now, if this came out to be $200 or something, or $300.
Sure, but if we could get, because again,
Okay.
we're trying to respect these.
What I'll
people
try to
who've
do
been
is get a
forgotten
measurement.
forever. Maybe we
I'll
get
try to do that. I'll try to do
granite
that.
corner posts, because they deserve it.
I'll try to do that. I'll try to get a measurement of the perimeter. I
Also reach out.
don't think I know the perimeter right now, so I
Sure,
don't know if
but-
I can estimate how many poles we would need and how much chain, but I'll try to do that.
So how do we get this level funded?
How do we get this level funded?
Well, I had a couple questions. Like,
Yeah.
Sure, go ahead.
see you removed New Hampshire retirement. That
Yes.
was in there?
Yes, because the superintendent was working 2 other positions in town,
Okay.
so we shared,
Okay.
yeah, we shared a portion of that with the other departments. So, yeah, I'm sorry, I should have stated that. That's why that went down
So
to
that's why it
0.
went down, and also in FICA Medicare went down too?
Right.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to take the $50 out of the electricity, I mean, again,
I was thinking.
go ahead, but I'm just saying the maintenance, honestly, the money was taken out last year based on, I guess we hadn't spent that much the year before, but the cleaning solution that we use is very expensive. Do you remember? I forget how much it is per. Yeah, sure. Maybe Joyce can handle. Anyway, so if you wanted to, if you were saying how to level fund this, I would say I'm okay with that, except for obviously the increase in wages. Everybody's been coming in with that, so I don't think you should touch that unless we're doing that to everybody. But on the 1,000,
I was just thinking about could we do 1,500?
So Joyce Kegel, Superintendent of Cemeteries. We haven't really discussed that, but I do know that we do have our capital reserve fund that we could use if we had to for delineation of the fencing. So, I mean, I don't have my board here, so I can't make a decision for them. That's up to them. If you want, we'll table this. We'll go back to our meeting in November, or we could have a special meeting ourselves to take it down to 1,500. I did not do much cleaning this year. It was way too hot, way too dry. I was advised by New Hampshire Graveyard not to do them if we couldn't. But I need to get corner markers, I need to get some cremation markers, and I haven't done that yet this year, but if I keep selling lots, I'm gonna need those.
so, I mean, I'll just be honest, Mr. Chair, if you wanted to remove the 50 from the electricity and take it to $1,500, you have two trustee members here. I could ask her opinion. I'm fine with that. I mean, I understand what you're trying to do here with all the departments. Yeah, I think we could live with that.
I think if you leave the 50 in there and just go to 1,500 instead
Okay.
of 2,000, that's $500
Do-
down,
Okay.
right? Would that get us pretty much
I
level?
think so, yep.
You okay with that, Jillian?
And I think that
You okay with that?
maybe with some creative thinking and some, and whatnot, maybe we can get some donations in for,
Correct.
for, you know, different things.
Do it.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
That would bring it down to, let's see,
So it would be 13,538.
Thank you.
Sorry, numbers guy.
Motion,
Motion.
Second.
discussion?
Yeah, yep. I was wondering, do you think it would be worth, just because you had mentioned the 13 and 39 thing, changing it in your budget to a 52-week straight is only a $76 difference? You could consider with what they're talking about, just making that easier for yourself next year.
If the others want to do it next year, I'd be game for that. I've already spoken about that, but again, I just would leave it.
Sorry, what was the number that you proposed?
13,538.
So it's a reduction over last year?
Yeah, because they were 13,740.
Yeah, and again, most of that is going to be because of the of
Losing the
Joyce's fight,
retirement
right,
and
correct.
FICA.
correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
We have a second.
Any further? All in favor?
Aye.
Renee or
Oh,
abstaining?
no, aye.
Aye,
Sorry.
okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you, folks.
Which one's not ready? Okay. Okay.
Budget Committee. Jim, do you want to come back?
Getting
I-
your steps in tonight,
Can I
Mr.
just make a
Hajar.
motion to approve this budget
Second.
level funding?
Nope.
Second.
Go ahead.
Sorry, we're moving it quick.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean, okay, Jim Hager, Chair Budget Committee. The only thing I was going to add is that I didn't talk to my committee about this. I kind of didn't even realize that we had $65 in the fiscal year 2025 budget for professional training.
Whoa.
But I was informed today that that may have been a bigger number in the past, because I did look at this to bring it to you tonight, saying that the NHMA Budget and Finance Workshop, which is held in September, is $115 per person. And the NHMA Basic Law of Budgeting, the book that they have, the latest book is $70. The Basic of Finance Policy is $70. I just bought both of those for myself. But this finance workshop, I think it's actually valuable to have budget committee members attend that session in September, and it's $115 a person. If we only have $65 and it's expected that we as elected officials pay for that on our own, so be it. I just didn't know if other elected officials or organizations send their people to these things and the
I can
town
tell
pays
you,
for
I
it.
was on the budget committee for 9 years.
Yep.
I never went to that.
Well, again, I would like to go just to, I could probably learn a thing or two, or maybe teach them something.
Yeah.
And then,
I think
second, you make contacts. Like, I mean, I think it would be good to make contacts with other municipalities, maybe around us, who I could trade a phone number and, make a contact with. But anyways, so that was the only thing.
you want to make, so you would like to revise this to like
Well, I
115?
was going to ask, like, I wasn't really, I didn't do my homework because I wasn't aware of, like, what do other organization departments, elected officials, does the town pay for, like, training like that, or,
Planning Board has it in their budget. And
Right.
Conservation has it in their budget.
right?
I don't know that there's a
Well-
general town line for that in the budget for,
Can I just ask if, does anyone have the history here? Letty, do you have the history of Budget Committee budget with for 2024? What was that line?
All right, you mean what was budgeted last year?
in 2024.
I can look it up, maybe. Try to anyway.
Is there a general line in the town?
Most departments have their trainings budgeted
Yeah.
in their department.
I would say we put in $115 instead of the 65, and then that brings you, so if you're at 115 on that,
Okay.
now you're at $118. And that gives you, does that work? Is it, how much is it?
It's $115 per
117?
person. I was going to ask to at least have,
Two.
I'll allow 2 people to go, possibly the chair and the secretary, or to any of the 2 members. At least 2 of them, 2 of the 7 members who we have would attend that thing. 5 of us are elected as budget
32.
committee and 2 are appointed.
232.
I'll accept the motion.
I'll make a motion for $232.
Second?
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And again, I apologize. I didn't really realize that this budget was, had that in there until today, so I just didn't have time to do the homework, but thank you.
I'm going to move code enforcement up. I see our code enforcement officer here.
How you doing?
How's code enforcement going, Chuck?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, busy,
Well, that's good.
busy, a lot of catch up, but it's all going good.
Excellent.
Everyone's great here. It's,
Excellent.
Good, good.
I'm glad. Thank you.
Yes, welcome officially again. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
So-
Jillian's been great. She's great support. Mark's been great. I get people to go to if I need something.
Just speak into the microphone if you would, thanks.
Jillian and Mark have been great. Good resources to go to, a big support group there.
Excellent. Excellent. So tell us about your budget, and I see you're seeking an increase, which I realize in large part is based on, the salary which we had previously approved for you. But go ahead. The floor is yours.
A part of it also is continued education and training to keep up certifications. They're hard to get to begin with, and I like to keep up with those. They benefit the town as well as myself. There's a budget line there for books and publications, and it seems like a lot, but the way the Code Council does the code review, it's every 3 years, and the last adopted code was 2021. We don't know yet whether they're going to adopt the 2024 on the state level, which means the town will adopt it also. And if they do adopt the 2024 International Building Codes, we'd need all new books again. And there'd be at least $1,000. I feel that the $1,000 will give me the updates that I need to do my job. The rest I could work with. And again, that might not happen. That $1,000 might go back into the general fund.
And this year, we've already spent $1,740, right?
Yeah, I've tried to piece that together, but it looks like the 2021 code books are fairly new. They may have been updated at the beginning of last year, or the beginning of this year. That's the only way I can assess that cost.
Julie, do you know what else is on that line that would be so high?
Yeah, because that seems like it was budgeted for 400, but they spent 1,740.
Again, I can only.
No, I know, yeah.
I can only guess that they didn't have the code books they needed, and they had to buy. I mean, they bought all the code books, and that's a big number.
So you still have the new ones, but you think they're gonna need to be updated next year? Is that what?
Well, we have the 2021s. Those are the most recent, but every 3 years they do a code review, and that's when they adopt the updated codes and amendments. So the next cycle would be the 2024 code books. no one knows yet whether they'll adopt those next year or not on the state level.
Are the 2021, or sorry, are the 2021s, you think those are new this year?
They look like they're brand new, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, it looks like they were bought very recently.
And
okay.
they don't have them on digital form?
You still have to pay for them?
Okay. On digital form, they still charge you for the
Oh,
books?
oh, yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah, they've gone several code cycles without updating the books, but I mean, you never know. Every 3 years, they have that option.
Can the library get you a discount? No,
No.
just kidding.
And I got a library card too.
And the problem is that they, it may just be, a handful of provisions.
Right.
But they.
You don't know
Need
until
the
you
current
read.
books.
Yeah,
Yep.
I know.
Yep.
They, I can vouch for that with some of the statute books that we end up having to purchase for my office. It's similar, code.
And do you know how much
statutes.
we've taken in code enforcement and building
I don't
financially? No?
know
I didn't know
that.
if you had the numbers. Just
And that's the
sometimes
other thing that
offsets it.
I did speak to Chuck today, and he's looking at fee structure and code enforcement. So it might be another area where we adjust and we're able to bring in a little bit more money for this department.
I have started researching other towns to see what they charge. I'm up to a dozen now, I think. And I've referenced what we can and can't do in the code books as far as permit fees and how that's structured. I do think there's room for improvement in the fee basis.
Are we at the low end?
And some of them, yeah, and some are missing altogether. The building permit fees themselves could use a little bit of adjustment, but they're close.
Any other thoughts or comments?
Yeah, I have two. One is, I know at one point we had talked about getting you some uniform shirts. Would it make sense to add a line in your budget for uniform just so you can have a shirt or two every year?
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
Do you know how much we should put in that line?
We were looking at those today, actually. They
Okay.
were $69 a shirt.
Okay. Is that with the embroidery or without?
That's without,
Okay. So maybe $100?
probably, yeah.
And then my other question was just this first note about the salary line. Because I couldn't figure out where this number was coming from because it doesn't match the 39 and 13 and 39 or the 52 weeks. Might be more a question for the board.
You mean the calculation is off? I'm not sure where you're.
I don't recall signing a contract or anything that says that, it says as negotiated, but I don't remember doing that.
When we hired Chuck, we had a conversation about the terms.
Correct.
So he has a contract somewhere?
No, it wasn't done with a written contract.
Was it verbal extension or
Um,
verbal extension?
Yeah.
Yep.
So this number was basically done on those calculations? Julie? Yes. I got a nod.
I assume so, yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like, so you just went through and did the calculations, what it would be based on the negotiated agreement? Okay.
And that came in front of the board
Mm-hmm.
and we approved it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember saying yes to the numbers that were put forward.
I don't remember it being split up like this. That's why I'm asking, because it's more than any other town employee is getting for a COLA this year. So I just
Well,
wanted to verify.
I'm still a big fan of merit, not COLA, so, but that's me.
Yeah, but I think the idea was that we were bringing Chuck in at a much lesser sum than you know, he had been earning in
An
his previous
experience.
position and his
And-
experience. So the idea was that we would be looking at an increase in 6 months and then a subsequent increase at the end of the year, which would put him on track for an annual increase. So that was my understanding.
I guess this is why it would be good to have this kind of thing in writing.
Well, yep.
Well, we could, I mean, you know,
Sorry, Chuck, this is not, it's not a,
Yeah.
this is not about you. It's just, I don't,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean-
recall that this being split up like this.
We were also missing a TA at the time too, so.
yeah, I mean, generally, it's an at-will, you know, position. It's not a contract position,
Right.
but.
So in terms of protecting him and protecting us, verbal conversations are not great, right? What if he had come and said 5 or 10?
That's not what we had
That's a
discussed.
hypothetical.
Yeah,
Th-
it's not what we had
This is
discussed.
what we had discussed right here.
Yeah.
It's written down.
All right. Well, in any event, we're looking at,
107,731.
yep, with an extra. I don't know, if we wanna add
107,831.
For uniforms, or uniform,
200, is that what we're,
100 would be sufficient
I
for a
guessed
uniform?
100 per shirt.
It's just polo shirts, right?
Yeah, 2 shirts would be $200. I mean, I can buy the shirts. It's not a big deal.
Well, let me know, because I probably should order a health officer shirt for myself, and I'll pay for it, I guess.
You'll have to add that to your budget. Your budget will skyrocket.
No, I never take a budget on
I'm
this.
joking. I know that.
I gotta cut it by 50.
I would like to make a motion to accept this budget
With the increase in the
of
uniform.
$200.
So
for two-
107,931, is that what you're looking at?
Yes.
Second.
Anything further? All in favor?
Aye.
I'm going to be a no on this one. And it's not about you, Chuck. It's just about, I don't like things
The
being,
dollar numbers, yeah.
I don't like things being ambiguous like that.
Okay.
Thank you,
Noted.
Chuck.
Thank you,
Thank you very
Chuck.
much.
And did you want to talk about, is this, that would have to
That
be
would be
non-public, right?
non-
Reputational? On the letter?
I think so.
Who are we talking about?
Is that non-public? Yeah, this,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think that, because it's reputational, I think it
Yeah,
has to be
okay.
non-public. So sit tight, we'll be back at you.
debt service. Who's going to address debt service? Okay.
That's Andy's.
Thank you. Yep. Getting there.
Thank you.
Just want to make same as the other paper.
I'm old. I need to remember to bring my glasses now.
You can use your phone like
Here.
a magnifying glass.
Try those.
Whoa.
Well, yeah, these are Andy's. He's not here tonight, so you're more than welcome to look at them if you'd like.
Okay, Julie Stevens, Finance Director.
Only one.
No, I'm good.
All these numbers for next year are based on the actual principal and interest payments that are due for the different bonds, and attached, you'll see Ambrose's nifty little spreadsheet that shows how much for each one. There's a principal, there's an outstanding principal column, and then there's the principal payments for the year, and then the interest payments are highlighted in yellow for the year.
So are these all existing bonds? or do
Correct.
Any of these anticipate the issuance of a new bond?
We're aware that conservation's gonna be, hoping to get another new bond, and,
Is that on here, though?
no, because Ambrose checked and there would be no payments in 2026. They would start in 2027,
Why is that?
based on when they would get approved, and by the time the bond is issued, the payments wouldn't start until 2027.
Rob?
He looked at the bond bank information on that, Ambrose did.
So Rob is here from Conservation. I had thought something different, at least when we had discussed this at Conservation, that potential, yeah, go ahead. Why don't you come up, Rob? Because I had been of a different impression, and I was gonna bring that up. But I understand it's not on this chart here that you're presenting.
Right,
Okay.
yeah.
Hi, Rob Wolfchuk, Conservation Commission.
Hi, Rob.
So like for this year, when we issued the bond for the Munger property, we're gonna close on that in the next week or so, and we've had the money for a couple months. Do we not pay for the money until next year? I don't understand how that.
That's one that was approved this year.
Right, so we're hoping to do something similar, or we may close on something.
That's not H?
Yeah, is that even on here?
H is, yeah, that's H, is
Oh,
this,
okay.
the one that was voted in this year is H on this, the bottom one on
Yeah.
that schedule, and the first payments are
But-
due next year.
But if we wanted to take money from that previously approved open space bond and have that issued next year, would we have payments next year? Like, so for like, again, we could be on a similar schedule trying to finalize a deal in the middle of the year and try and close before the end of the year. If we were to go to the bond bank, would we not start paying interest during next year for a portion?
When Ambrose looked into it, the bond bank, and looked at the dates that it would be approved and issued and so forth, it showed that there would not be any payments until 2027.
Okay, so we would then be looking at only issuing a bond at the end of the year? Like, I don't know, I thought they issue like twice a year, maybe.
Right. And it would be, if it got voted in March, by the time it went through the process, I can't remember exactly the anticipated date that it would be approved and so forth was, I think, August or so, and then the actual payments wouldn't start until next year.
Till 27.
Right.
Hold on though. So bond, we don't have to go before town meeting to do bonds for conservation. So we can approve those as a board anytime we want to, which is maybe what the difference is that you're getting at. We can do those off cycle because we already have that money set aside from the approval, what was it, 2 or 3 years ago now?
Yeah, it's the authority to issue.
Yes.
We don't actually have the money.
Right, but we don't have to wait till town meeting.
Correct.
I guess is like if we wanted to apply for one in January, we could go to bond bank then.
But I don't think it wasn't town meeting, I don't think that was the issue. I think the issue was that sort of an anticipated approval in like the third quarter of next year would then mean that you wouldn't have interest payments until 2027, is that?
If it's going to be earlier, then we can look at the bond bank schedule again and see where that would fall. And we can revisit this. We can add that in there. We were just under the assumption that it would have to wait.
I mean, my suggestion would be that we time this with conservation so that it is after the date, so it falls into 2027. That would be my suggestion.
But can you wait? I mean, can the,
Yeah, I mean, I think we're flexible on that. I don't know what the issuance times of the bond bank
I can
is, but,
check.
I mean, if it's, instead of issuing, I don't know, when was the bond issuance for this year? Was it in like June or May or June we tried to get it in?
It got approved in the January one, looks like, and the first payment, or the interest payment is due in August of this year. It can be pretty quick, yeah.
Well, I think,
6 months.
you know, we could be flexible on that if there's a way to issue it later in the year.
Whichever you want. I mean, I can check and see how much it would be if you want to do it earlier in the year.
I mean, given, you have a better understanding than me, because you're on that open space committee, but I mean, it sounded like this is all very, preliminary and probably can, be pushed into the latter part of 26, which would then push the interest into 2027. So that's what I would suggest, and I think it would probably work out best budgetarily.
Yeah,
How would that work with the tax cap, though? If we take out the bond, then we would have to, when we build the budget for 27, just have that already in there and make the adjustments elsewhere?
the positive thing we have going on is,
Bond payments would be part of the tax cap, right? That's my understanding. Yeah.
yeah. So what I was gonna, Letty, to answer your question, the good news is we have bonds maturing from the original 2 million that already happened. So we had 500,000 mature in January of this year. We've issued roughly 500-ish over the last couple of years. There's another 240,000 in August of 27, and then close to $1 million in August of 28. It looks like from these, they issue in January and August, because all of the maturity dates are either January or August of our existing bonds.
Yeah.
So some of it would be covered, but as Jim was just saying, we did check with the New Hampshire Municipal Association, and all the payments, principal and interest, do have to fall under the tax cap. And then once they're approved, like the ones we issued this year, for next year, it's a given. So again, we have other properties in the hopper as well, and we're hoping to continue to pursue, conservation, since that seems to have been one of the #1 priorities in town on the, housing survey and everything else. So we're hoping to continue to do these and not just push them out, because there's a lot of.
No, I just think they have to be done, with a level of caution,
Yeah.
understanding, what we're bumping up against. So
Yeah, so so I guess what we were looking at is to have the 400,000 be able to be issued in the August, if that's the
Yeah.
right timeframe. So
Right.
you'd have a partial year
right,
of.
but it sounds like that might not, affect the budget.
Correct.
So maybe we can, I don't know if there's any
Wait, so
other
a bond
questions
issue in
about the debt.
August doesn't have any payments till the next year? Okay, great.
And I'm looking at some of these, like E is, am I mistaken, that one's gonna be getting paid off next year? Am I looking at that right? And then A is also getting paid off?
Well,
Is that when it ends on 8/15/26?
No,
No? All right.
well,
That's the payment schedule?
right.
Okay, I was hoping. I was crossing
Yeah,
my
that
fingers
would,
we
that
were
would be
getting
good.
Sunsetted and we would say, hey, yay, go. But I can't do that.
Do you know why this year actual for all of these lines is 0?
It's odd, because when I print out one report, they show up in there, and then
Okay.
when I print the budget report, they don't. But if I just,
We should maybe figure that out.
yeah, I was gonna talk to Greg
Is
about
that
it
the
when he sees.
actuals that you have here? It was actually.
Yeah, those are our actuals.
Yeah, but she had to type that, like,
type
they
it in.
should come up like these other ones do.
But we spent more on debt services than was budgeted for, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So then why would next year the requested be less than what we've already spent this year?
Assuming because of a retiring
Yeah.
bond.
We had one that we paid off this year,
But we know we have one that's gonna be coming on.
but no payment for 2026.
Okay.
Can we still put a line for it just to keep that in mind?
Because otherwise you end up,
I guess it would actually, never mind, because it's still all under that open space bond line.
Right. But yeah, Letty, I don't know why, if I print expenditure report, they show up, but when I print a budget, on the budget report, they don't. I'm
They
not
show
really
up on the budgeted expenditures?
No, not on budgeted. If I just print year-to-date expenditures,
Weird.
they would show up.
Okay.
It was very odd.
so bottom line is you're looking for 269,260.23, and for this year it was supposed to be 273,391. but we spent 280, 188.54, so there's still a reduction in what we're anticipating because we had a sunsetted. bond
Correct.
payment. So I'm gonna make a motion because they're bonds and we signed an agreement on the extension of the interest on that. I'm gonna make a motion for 260.23, which is a reduction in that budget anyway.
I'll second
Wait,
that.
wait, what?
260. 260.23 is the budget request
That's for the interest,
for next year.
but you also have to vote in the one above it too for the
Oh, the
principal
220,
payments.
so you gotta add them together. I thought
Well, they're two
total-
separate.
Sorry, are you looking at this?
281.
What are you looking
I'm looking at this.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yes.
So 281,
I see what you're saying. Yes.
okay.
That is both combined.
Right? It's
Yes.
269, 260.23. Am I looking at that right?
Yeah, that's
Yes,
correct.
I would make it 2.4 just so we can have $1 in the TAN's interest line.
Tan.
The what line?
Tax
Tan's
anticipation notes? Not on here?
interest.
Where's that?
I know it's not on here, but it's,
TAN is separate.
I know, but usually, I'm guessing you just forgot to print it out on this piece of paper? Because usually that would be part of this debt service budget.
Yeah,
It's just, it's a $1 placeholder
Sure.
in case we have to pay interest.
I'm fine with that. So 269, 261.23.
yes.
Motion.
Second.
Yes.
Can I just add that that includes the approval to issue the open space bond of up to 400,000 as requested?
No,
Okay, so then how do we?
This is only the budget, right?
How
Yeah.
do we include that so that we know we can issue it?
you don't. You have to come to the select board and ask us to approve that.
Ultimately, we're gonna have to approve the bond being issued at the time that we're presented with the project. But I think the idea is that, you know, with some anticipation that this were to be happening in the latter part of next year, that it wouldn't have a budgetary impact until '27.
Okay.
So that's kind of handled on its separate from the budget.
But I appreciate the concern.
Okay.
If there had been a budgetary impact in '26, then there would have been a more extensive conversation about it, so I don't think you need to deal with it at the moment, other than when the time comes, and then you need to convince us why this is a good project.
Sounds good.
Okay,
All right,
Thank
so
you.
We got a motion and a second on 269, 261.23.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are we
Rob,
t-
you may
are-
want to stay here.
Are we taking public comment?
Not
have
at the
3
moment.
minutes,
We're
I've
not,
used like
we're not
20
taking-
seconds.
We're not
Okay.
taking public comment at this point. We have some old business we want to deal with.
I have old business. I just can do the money stuff. I just want to tell you one thing, okay? It's budgetary. It's about budget. You can pass any reasonable budget and wait till December and reopen the ones that don't.
We know that list.
Okay, but then why are we taking so long for $67 or $1? By December, you'll have all of the numbers, you'll have the tax rate. Okay, I'm just saying.
This
And
is, this is our process. I mean.
I know the
it's
process
not
is
your
broken.
process, this is our process.
Okay,
Thank you. Rob, did you want to come back, because we're going to talk about the contracts under old business for the Stevens property? Great, thank you.
Ready?
Yes,
Now?
please.
Thank you. Well, Julie, did you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
You can set it up.
I don't know if you want to talk about
Sure.
the.
So this is a follow-up on the very generous donation from Bruce Stevens of the 3+ acres on South Road. I went out, as we discussed in the past, and we got a couple of estimates, contracts for some of the due diligence that I think the town should do prior to accepting the donation. We have an estimate, I don't know if it's in your packets, from Environmental Services for a Phase 1 environmental assessment of $3,000. That's pretty standard, yep, from Tom Ford Environmental Services. This is the same company that
I don't know if it was in the
Tom Ford
packet or we just
Environmental
had one to pass
Services.
around. Here you go. Yep. I think we
This
have
is the
one to
s-
pass around.
same company that we used for the recent purchase of the property from Nooney Munger. That's going to close
Yep.
next week or something.
23rd.
23rd.
Yes.
Again, just, the Bruce has, attested it's been a farm and everything, but I still think it's a good policy for the town to have, done due diligence. So we have a contract for 3,000. There's also, most of the property is surrounded by stone walls, but there is some internal lines in the fields. So we did get a quote for a retracement survey that could lay out those boundaries and put in some markers so that the town knows exactly where its property is and Bruce knows exactly where his property is. Again, this is the same company for a similar price that just did the last project for the town this year. So, we feel it's reasonable. Again, we might be able to do a little negotiation because most of it's stone walls, but, until we got to that point, we didn't seem to make sense to go back to them with things. So that's for 6,400. So the idea was if the town had money in a line,
Right.
either to encumber or to spend this year, then we could move forward with these contracts and get the process.
Two were totaling, was it 9,400?
Uh-huh. And then we would still need some title work. I don't know what that ran on the last property, but, and some deed drafting.
We did have some title work done, but we'll have to, have some more from the closing, including the title insurance. I
Yeah,
Recall.
I didn't get a quote on that yet, but figured we'd start with this and see how far we got.
yeah, fair enough. So Julie, was there a place where we could put this?
Hopefully. In the general government budget, there's an expenditure offset with 20,000 in it. That was my thought.
Yep.
We haven't expended any.
Can I ask a question? Is that where you're actually going to put the expense, or is that just where you're thinking the money will go to offset this expense?
I would probably just say that's where the money would come from. I don't think we need to.
I'm asking which line in the budget would this charge go to? Like, which line would this?
I'll have to look at.
Okay. So it's not going to go into that line. We're just going to keep
I
in
don't-
mind in our
unle-
heads that we can't use it. That's all I was asking.
I mean, it's whatever the board would like.
I mean, we'll be taking it from that line that you just indicated, correct?
We can do that.
Yeah.
Just to keep it in.
I would recommend that,
Sure,
Yeah.
we can do that.
just so it makes it easier for tracking. You could put a memo in it if you had to.
Right. Yeah, I can do that.
And and the line again was the reserve line or
Expenditure offset.
expenditure offset in the town? So,
And then, this is something that could potentially be used for cemetery down the road, so we're gonna need that, we know that, so. I think it's worthwhile to do our due diligence on accepting Bruce's generous donation, and
so-
we pay for that, so.
so motion.
For the
and
$9,400
From that particular.
from that specific line. yeah.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye?
Letty?
I'm going to be a no.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. One other item from the Conservation Commission was the contract for our consultant, which I had emailed you. We had approved it at the last Conservation Commission, and the Select Board was going to sign it. I don't know if that needs to be discussed here, or I could just leave it with you to sign.
Forgot to, yeah.
It's not on the agenda?
Well, it wasn't on the agenda, but,
It doesn't need to be signed tonight. It could be next week, or
yeah.
it starts the end of, the
mean,
current
this-
contract is through the end of October.
Yeah, so this was a contract that the Select Board had originally signed off on for Anna Boudreau, who's the consultant for the Conservation Commission. And what was the terms on this again, Rob?
It's,
I think she had increased the
it's-
price. but-
She did increase her hourly wage, but it's only if we request it. It's a contract for up to $6,000 or $6,500. It's in our budget that was recently approved for next year. And it's basically only if we need her services, and then she charges as you go, as she does work.
Can I make a suggestion? I didn't have a chance to really
Yeah.
look at this for today, so why
That's
don't we,
fine.
why don't we do
Table
it
it.
next week?
Yeah, I won't be here if you could.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, thanks. And it's the same contract as last year, just
Yep.
changed for a couple of those minor terms. and dates.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No problem, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Oh, any other old business? Any committee updates?
Rec Commission meeting them tomorrow, 6:30, I think, is the meeting I have. If I remember correctly, but my memories. Other than that, that's all I got for that. What do you got, anything?
I don't have anything. Everything I have is non-public.
I'm trying to remember. The health insurance subcommittee, we got the rest of the new rates today. We're meeting next week to review those. I don't think we have anything from any other companies yet, as far as I know.
Conservation, we had our meeting and, I don't remember what. Go ahead. Help me out.
I would say, hi, Rob Wolfchuk, Conservation Commission. I would say one good thing that Jim had mentioned in relation to Budget Committee is we had a presentation from Salik Carahan at the UNH Cooperative Extension. The Seacoast has a very successful roundtable where like 10 or 12 of the towns get together every other month and discuss issues of interest, sharing knowledge, experiences. And Sarah's a new hire at the UNH Cooperative Extension. She's for Rockingham County, right here in Brentwood. She would like to start a similar effort in this area, which I think we all agreed was a great idea because we can share our challenges, experiences, things like that. So,
Yeah, it would network the towns and
Yeah.
put us in communication.
and have joint presentations that we could get people to come in and, you know, each.
How do you deal with easements? How do you deal with
Yeah.
purchases?
So I'd
Yeah,
say that
all
was
kinds of
that was
issues.
the highlight, and the other things we just discussed tonight.
Great,
Thank
thank you.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks.
Okay, we're now, public comment.
Exactly how much time do I have? Letty, can you set?
You got
set
2
these
minutes.
two?
Go. I got it.
It's okay. Letty, I might need you. So I have three things I want to mention so I don't forget it. I want to abolish the Friends of the Library, because first they were not the trustees. The Friends of the Library are not friendly, and this is what happened when I went to the basement bookstore with 2 books. David McCullough's,
By name, they're friendly. They're friends.
no, this is my 2 minutes. Now I get 2.5. Okay. If you don't interrupt me, I'll leave after this, okay?
Go ahead.
I want to be a non-public on the 27th for personnel in the town offices, in the select board, in the police. And if I come up in any non-public, you have to invite me and I would make it public. So I want non-public for however long it takes on the 27th. Okay? And I would also like to report, if you want to cut your tax bill, I personally have no children anymore in the Exeter Region Cooperative School District, which is something like 75% of your tax bill. Their budget committee meeting, so really Jim Hajar should go to that one, and their public hearing is the same day as the next, is October 20th, 6 p.m. Exeter High School. If you can't be there, at least listen to it, because this will affect what we propose at the deliberative session the first week of February. Okay? Bob knows this because he knows the person. Chris Andriski, who lied to both of us in a budget meeting when I was a,
Called it fuzzy math, yeah.
yeah, like 6 times. So please, I'll find that one. But I know he said that his, without adding well, I'll go on. October 20th, it's the administration-only budget. It's 3.4 4 million or 3.5 million, and the guy that's the new superintendent is about since Mike Morgan, and some people would even say before Mike Morgan. I wouldn't, he was a very good friend. I talk about well, anyway, that's October 20th, 6. Be there or listen to it. They are going to pass it, the joint boards, because we don't even have a representation on that board. I am going to get out of my tax bill. I'm not going to pay the county part of my tax bill or the Exeter Region Cooperative School District part of the tax bill, and my tax bill will go down about 80%. Okay, and that fits under the cap. One other thing, get rid of the Friends. These are the books that they are not allowed to sell. The Friends are no longer friendly, and they're banning people, and they're banning books, and they're... Okay, here's the book. Here's the books you can't take out from the Friends, not extra unelected trustees. They have this list. I got the list from them. It's called Banned and Challenged Books. Top 100 most frequently challenged books, 2010, 2019. So the ALA is American Library Association. The trustees gave it to the Friends and say, okay, I just need to do, put me,
You want to name a book? Is that what?
yeah,
Name one book.
upstairs and down. I can name you 15.
That's fine. One's good. One's good.
Yes, I know what they're doing. The next time they're doing it again is on first of all, the Friends are trustees that are not elected. So make them elected or get rid of them because they're not friendly. And I had to join the Kingston Library to not be hassled in my own library. Okay. Friends, the King James Version of the Bible, To Kill a Mockingbird, Steinbeck. There's 100. I would only ban 50 Shades of Grey because you can watch the movie and it's trash. So I would have, whatever. I'll get you the list. I'll send it to Letty. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Public? Come on, Jim. Run.
Jim Hazard, Mohawk Lane. Quick, someone had asked me that something about the YouTube, when we are tape recording the select board meeting, you can usually get the transcript automatically off YouTube, but the last meeting, the feature was turned off. So I don't know if it was done on purpose to turn it off, or if we can turn that back
We
on.
don't touch YouTube ever, so.
It was brought to my attention. I did check it out. It's true. For some reason, the last meeting it wasn't available.
Is
So
there a closed caption option?
no, it's just when on YouTube you can scroll down and it will automatically generate a transcript of the whole meeting, any of our meetings, cemetery, whoever.
Does it maybe take a while?
I don't know. I was just asking if it had been shut off to turn it back on, but okay, thanks.
Okay. Anyone else?
It's kind of under old business, but just to let you know that Greg, the CPA, is coming Thursday to finish up because the auditors arrive next week.
Great.
So-
Good deal.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Okay. Hearing,
Yep, go ahead.
okay. Hearing no other public comment, I'll take a motion to go into a non-public for hiring, for personnel, and for reputation.
Motion.
Second.
Take a roll call. Oh, and I'm sorry, before people leave, I should have mentioned Andy Artemovich is not here tonight because of an excused
Oh my
absence.
God, he's not.
His wife Louise was having some issues, medical, and Andy needed to be in the hospital with her. But I understand that she's doing well, and we all wish her a speedy recovery. So
Absolutely.
Sorry I hadn't mentioned that earlier, but thank you everyone for coming. Roll call vote.
Thank you. Aye.
Aye.